Welcome back, you anime card loving people out there. Today, I'm going to go over VTubers and not anime. That is because Weiss Schwarz is reprinting booster boxes for Hololive Production Volume number 2. This caught many people off guard. I'm going to run through all those with you, and also I'm going to show you the TCG player pricing on the booster boxes and the cards. Now, why people got confused by all of this is because there's a date on here showing July 18th, 2024. But more importantly, if you're going to take a look at this email, it says, "Dear retailers, unless you are a person that buys through a distributor, this does not fully apply to you," right? Because your seller is going to buy through a distributor. After that happens, they will put it up on their website or tell you in store that, hey, we got some pre-orders for Hololive 2. What do you want to buy? And some sellers, of course, are going to just buy a little bit, and some are going to buy a ton. We just had reprints of Azure Lane, and there was enough of that to go around. So I really wouldn't worry about this whole running out business. You will be able to pick up these booster boxes at a lower prices than what it is currently going for today. Some people are wondering why Bushy Road would do this. Well, Weiss Schwarz is a card game, and people want the cards for various different reasons. If you take a look at the card prices in the booster box, really expensive. Again, I'll show you that in just a little bit. And also, Hololive is a very impressive IP. People love these VTubers, right? So if you take a look at this Hololive collab night with, it was pretty amazing. If you didn't see these cards, it was 3 cards in a pack, and these things were going for $150, $200, $250. Currently, it has dropped down to $100 because people FOMO'd into it. These were really nice cards, but at $250, that would be a life full of regrets, I think, if you were to purchase these. But still, at $100 and below, I can't really say that I wouldn't want to buy these at those prices, but I'll hold out for just a little bit longer. Weiss Schwarz has cranked out a lot of product for Hololive, and you can see we had 7 trial decks, booster box for volume 1, premium booster box, a booster box for volume number 2. On August 2nd, we're getting the Hololive Ambassador set, and lastly, we are getting a premium booster box for the summer collection. So there is a whole lot of reasons why we will be seeing more Hololive. That's why we're getting reprints. It's because it's just one of those sets that do really well for a whole host of reasons when it comes to players, when it comes to collectors, and people that just love Hololive. One of the other things that was missing altogether from this whole talk about reprints is silver signatures or stamps. When we have reprints, and I know some people don't know this, so I'll be quick about it. When we get reprints or second editions, one of the things that they sometimes do, not all the time, but sometimes do, is change the gold signature to a silver signature. You saw that with Data Live reprint trial decks. With Kaya Love is War, they had stamps, so it went from a gold stamp to a silver stamp. Outside of the box, what you will notice is the word reprint on there, which is really nice. That's really good to distinguish, but on every other card, you will not be able to tell. With Hololive volume number 2, there was 51 SSPs and 51 SPs. What that actually looked like is this. They look freaking beautiful if you've never seen these SSPs. And you can see on here that the color of the signature is a little bit different. So I have this Gura here. This is a JP version off of eBay. Take a look at that rainbow. That is freaking beautiful. The card itself, really amazing. Let me zoom out one more time. Awesome looking card. Fairly expensive. So let me zoom back out here. All these SSPs are freaking beautiful. Here's Gura sitting on TCG Player at $1249.99. Of course, you don't see anyone buying it for that price on TCG Player, but this is one of the reasons why this reprint's going to happen. These cards, these SSPs, are freaking expensive, and you got 1 per case. So you can take a look at this Noel and Suisei. People are obviously going to be aiming for this Suisei, but with 51 SSPs, really hard to come up with. Going back here to the booster box, they currently sit here at $115. Another reason why this is getting reprinted, that's just because these things are freaking expensive. But can you imagine if there's no sort of silver signatures there, if this is exactly the same way? This doesn't look any sort of difference. I know on the box it says first edition, but if nothing internally is actually changing, then who cares if it's a reprint edition? second edition, it doesn't matter because nothing internally really changes outside of potentially there are no sort of PR cards inside of the booster box, right? That's the one other change that could happen. $2,000. That's where it currently sits at on TCG Player. If you think that is crazy, there was actually a sale on June 24th for $2,000. Let me just, there you go. It's worth zooming in multiple times. There you go. $2,000. That's what it's set here. And it sold for that price. If you think again, having these at $2,000 and they're reprinting the exact same thing minus maybe some PR cards, then you know what? That is pretty crazy. Getting these for $950 pre-orders on a reprint, you save 50%. That's pretty crazy. That's one amazing sale. Now flipping over here to the SPs were not rainbow, they were gold colored. As you can see here, Gura, of course, really expensive playable cards. The big thing about this set was people wanted to collect it, but they wanted to play with it. I'm going to just switch over here to this double rare. Just as I'm saying about playing with it, you can see these are double rare cards, base rarity cards, 967 Gura. Mori, 1435, your biggest double rare there. And then you have this Mio for 1099. So there's a few other ones that are expensive. Flipping over here to the rare side, we got Ina at $3. One thing to note again with the reprints, any reprints that Weiss Schwarz has done, when it comes to the lower rarities, they look exactly the same. The triple rare, your SR, the foiling, there's no sort of difference, right? There's no stamp on here. So there's no gold, there's no silver, there's no second edition reprint marks on these cards. They're exactly the same. So if you're interested in some of these cards and you're waiting for it to come down, like this Mori that is playable, right? Just going back up here, same card, right? 1435. And then taking a look at the SR, $30.99. This is your chance to be able to pick this card up at a lower price. The reprints help in many different ways. They help the people that wanted to play with it, anybody that wanted to collect it for a lower price. The people that invest in it, they're going to take a little bit of a hit when it comes to actually a decent amount of hit if there's no difference between the first and the reprint. And that's the biggest concern for anybody that invests in the Weiss Schwarz. I know people out there are going to be like, yeah, screw the investment people. But again, they're the people out there that help supply you with product in the years to come after this releases, right? Like if they never did a reprint, who else are you going to buy this product from? It's your choice whether you want the product or not at those higher prices, but at least you have an option. Now flipping back here over to the SSPs, these things freaking amazing. Just imagine what happens with some of these prices if more supply hits. I don't imagine this Suisei down here at 5,000, this Noel at 1850, if they're going to hold those prices. They're definitely going to come down, but how much? Thinking again, 51 SSPs inside of there, you have to open on average 51 of these to get one of each. When you think about reprints, they're not going to be sold at the same amount, right? Let's say 10,000 cases were sold on the initial release. A second release is not going to sell 10,000 no matter what set it actually is. When it comes to Weiss Schwarz anyways, maybe Pokemon might do that. But when you think about Weiss Schwarz, that will never happen that way. You know, like you have people that already have this product, they're not going to buy more of it. I would definitely caution you if you want to invest very, very heavily in it, because the second chance gives people the opportunity to buy something they missed out on. And those were the people, investment wise, that you were going to sell this product to. But now that they're able to pick this up, you have just lost that pool of people. So be very wary when it comes to investing in a reprint. That's what I tell people every time. The last thing people were concerned with was the fact that Weiss Schwarz did not put on their official website or on their social media about this reprint. I only guess to that is the fact that there are no changes that we know of yet to the signatures. There is really no need to tell people about this. It is up to your retailer, someone you purchase through, to tell everybody else that these are being reprinted. If you take a look at the past announcements on reprints, this happened over and over again where Weiss Schwarz will come out and say, by the way, there are reprints, go to your stores or your sellers and purchase through them. And that would happen after the pre-orders. This is no sort of change whatsoever from what they have always done. I've always complained about it too. I've said, you know what, they probably should tell people because maybe some people wanted the reprint and they didn't find out about it. Should they have done it? Yes, but this is on par for what they always do. If you have any other questions or comments, feel free to reach me out down below or see my information in the description. But as always, Have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside your budget. Have a good one.